The Dark Knight is considered one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Now there's a Batman.
But how does it succeed as a sequel? The only sequels Christopher Nolan has ever made are his 2 Batman sequels, and in The Dark Knight, he used the foundation he built in Batman Begins to ask whether or not he really is a hero. We're talking all about it this week in Kaden's Movie Club. Spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen it, beat it. In Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne came face to face with his own traumas and overcame them. Ra's al Ghul represented rage and the desire for revenge over justice. Scarecrow represented fear itself. These 2 villains allowed Bruce's character to have a complete arc from an angry, scared young man to the legendary hero we all think of when we hear Batman. So when the character returns in The Dark Knight, he's at a high point. He's confident, maybe even arrogant.
Batman has no limits.
Well, you do, sir.
Well, can't afford to know him.
So if in the first movie we answered the question, what did Bruce Wayne have to overcome to create Batman? The question we're setting up here is, what could stop Bruce Wayne from believing in Batman? Because another thing we established in the first movie is that Batman is more than a man.
If you make yourself more than just a man, if you devote yourself to an ideal, then you become something else entirely.
He's an idea, a symbol. Bruce says he wants to use it to inspire the people of Gotham, but it's also to inspire himself. In many ways, Bruce Wayne is the disguise and Batman is the true identity. Bruce longs for a normal life, but he doesn't fully believe it can exist after he lost his parents. That idea was shattered for him at a young age. And even though he tells Rachel they can be together once Gotham no longer needs Batman, she recognizes that Bruce is the one that needs Batman.
But now I'm sure the day won't come when you no longer need Batman.
Because becoming Batman is the only way he's been able to feel like he's in control of himself and the world around him. The reason that Batman starts this movie with such confidence is because he believes that he's succeeded in bending the rules of society to achieve a higher goal. He's taken the law into his own hands and it seems to be working. He also believes there are simple solutions to confronting evil in the world.
Criminals aren't complicated, Alfred. We just need to figure out what he's after.
So if that's the state our character is in, then what would make him question everything? Facing an antagonist that beats him at his own game. The Joker is a direct result of Batman's existence. The Joker knowingly takes on the role of a funhouse mirror. Batman is a theatric, symbolic persona. The Joker is the same thing. The Batman persona is a statement about fear. Criminals are the ones that should be scared when good people are willing to take action. The Joker is a statement about the nature of people. The idea that the world really allows people to be good is a joke. Batman defied the criminal underworld by having no ulterior motives except to restore justice in Gotham. Unlike public officials, he can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. But just as committed as Batman is to his mission and what it means, so is the Joker. They are 2 sides of the same coin.
Some men aren't looking for anything logical. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Batman believed he succeeded in breaking the rules, so in the sequel, he's put up against someone that doesn't believe in rules at all. And Batman doesn't know how to stop him without becoming him. Because the Joker wants to cause chaos, the more unpredictable he is, the better his plans work. He sees a world that's already at the brink of collapse. He laughs at society's attempts to establish order and justice because he doesn't believe that's possible.
I'm not a schemer. I try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are.
Why would Joker want to do this? Throughout the movie, we get conflicting origin stories. In one, Joker tells a story that blames an abusive father for his worldview. In another story, it's crippling debt and an attack on a wife he claims to have had.
Is it the scars? You want to know how I got them?
But the thing is, whatever gave Joker his scars, both metaphorical and literal, doesn't matter. His multiple stories just further establish his self-created symbolism that he could be anybody. That our world is so corrupt that any one of us is just a bad day away from adopting the Joker's perspective. This is really what he sets out to prove, and Batman has no way to fight back.
You have nothing to threaten me with. Nothing to do with all your strength.
Because to defeat Joker, Batman would have to cross lines he never imagined he would. He'd have to start being just as lawless as the Joker, which would only prove Joker's point.
I've seen now what I would have to become to stop men like him.
If Gotham suddenly had 2 costumed maniacs committing violent acts and harming people, would the citizens even be able to tell the difference? So Bruce decides to give up on his crusade as Batman.
Today I found out what Batman can't do. He can't endure this.
He doesn't fully believe he's abandoning Gotham. He thinks he can leave the city in more capable hands. And that's where Harvey Dent comes in, as the brave, capable district attorney that has been fighting to continue Batman's work, but through legitimate means. Bruce believes Dent is Gotham's true savior, and by destroying Batman, he can destroy Joker. But the story isn't about to let Bruce off so easily, because that's what a good sequel does. It builds on the foundation provided by the first part of the story, and then puts its themes and characters into situations that forces us to re-examine them, and forces them to evolve. Joker recognizes that Harvey is supposed supposed to be Gotham's knight in shining armor. So he shifts his entire goal to breaking Harvey Dent. He plays psychological games, threatening Rachel, and then just when Harvey thinks it's safe, he pulls the rug out from under him.
Harvey, it's okay. It's all right. Listen.
With Rachel gone, Harvey descends into madness. He adopts a new philosophy that he believes is a twist on his old beliefs. But really, it's just the Joker's philosophy.
Introduce a little anarchy.
In this story, Harvey Dent serves as a representation of cause and effect. Batman paved the way for Harvey Dent to rise up as a hero of Gotham. Then Joker undid all of that and created Two-Face, a perfect symbol to show that all of us are really just...
I'm sorry, Harvey.
Monsters in hiding. So what does that say about Batman? The solution that the movie presents to this moral dilemma is interesting. The only time the Joker really loses in this movie is when his philosophy is rejected by the citizens of Gotham. He attempts to pit people against each other in the famous boat sequence. His goal is to continue to show that everybody deep down is like him. In actuality, it ends up being the opposite. While people on both boats argue for the destruction of the other boat, deep down nobody is as callous as Joker. Nobody is willing to truly believe that life is meaningless as he does. And the irony that the boat filled with inmates from Gotham's prison, which Joker surely thought he could count on to prove his point, is the boat that most adamantly rejects him. But then we come to the final scene. Two-Face has lived long enough to see himself become the villain and is trying to achieve his twisted version of justice. Batman is able to stop it, but there's a bigger issue. Harvey Dent was giving people true hope. Gordon and Batman clearly believed that if the people of Gotham were to find out the truth about Harvey, then they would lose hope and all of the progress would be undone. They would succumb to the Joker's worldview and he would win.
I took Gotham's White Knight and I brought him down to our level. See, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
So instead, Batman takes the fall for Harvey's deeds so Harvey can become Gotham's martyred hero and remain a symbol of hope. Gordon and Batman decide it's best to keep Gotham in the dark.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things, because I'm not a hero.
And this isn't the first time this idea has been brought up. Rachel told Bruce in a letter that she was choosing Harvey over him. Bruce was never going to have the life he dreamed, even if he gave up being Batman. But Alfred chooses not to tell him, he keeps him in the dark. As a law-abiding citizen, Harvey was the ideal hero, the one Gotham needs. Batman is not and has never been a traditional hero. He's never operated with a black and white moral code. He operates in a gray area. He uses fear, he hides in the shadows, he skirts moral boundaries. But he still ultimately believes that truth, justice, and goodness can exist, so he fights for it.
Because it's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
What do we think Nolan meant by that statement? In the complicated world we live in, is it possible to view things in black and white terms? Or do we have to accept the reality of the gray area? Can infallible heroes even exist?
Because he's not a hero.
So in Batman Begins, Bruce Wayne transforms into a hero, but in The Dark Knight, the story asks, what is a hero in a chaotic world? And it refuses to paint an ideal picture by the end. Batman is not the bright knight in shining armor, he's the Dark Knight, because the story is acknowledging that there may be no perfect solutions to the world's darkest problems. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't keep believing that a dawn may come.
He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
And next week we're going to take a look at a sequel that chooses a completely different kind of way to address the difficulties in the world. Its message is simpler, but no less important. The first Paddington movie was a perfect story about the importance of charity and kindness towards those we perceive as different than us, regardless of where they come from. So how does the next movie deliver a story that many would argue was even better? How does it pose such a hopeful outlook on life without seeming disingenuous, especially when the protagonist is a talking bear? Here's some questions to keep in mind while you watch. What are each of the Paddington movies saying about community? How is Paddington 2's perspective distinct from the first movies? People constantly learn valuable lessons about kindness through Paddington's example, but what does Paddington learn about the world through his journey in this movie? What exactly is it about Paddington that makes him such a beloved character? Why do you think he resonates with people, beyond his cute factor? So let's chat about The Dark Knight in the comments, and I'll see you back here next Sunday to discuss Paddington 2. And if you want to stay in the know about Movie Club, you know where to go.